Hey folks, welcome back. Just continuing on in this series where I'm building some sort of racing simulator. So, off camera, I did a couple things I should mention. One is I just came in and commented this receive timing signal, which is where most of my logic I've added for the timing system lives right now. So I commented all that pretty well, and I added timing loops. So previously I just had the start finish line and a couple others. I've added, if you can see them, several. I've added a bunch. I've added a bunch of timing loops, including a sector 1 and a sector 2 timing loop, and I don't remember exactly which ones they are. That's just a general. There's sector 1 right there, and then sector 2. I'd still need to put a bunch after sector 2. There's a bunch missing after sector 2, but I put down specifically the sector 1 and sector 2 boxes so that I'd be able to do what I want to do next, which is to implement sector times for the vehicles. Before I do that, I do want to show something else I've done, which is, unfortunately, I got sick a couple days ago, and I'm still sick today. So I was worried that I would not be able to work on this for a while, and so I went ahead and created a well, one, I came in and commented that code so that I would remember it when I came back, if it was a week or two before I got to it. And then I came in and added, I created an Azure DevOps project and added a bunch of user stories just so I would remember the things that I need to finish. And I was mostly working on this timing system for now. However, I'm not going to do all this stuff on this timing system. It's, right now, I can only work on one thing for so long before it starts to sort of annoy me and I want to work on something else. So I'll probably come into visual or audio effects next, something like that. But I did want to implement the sector times because it's, it's low hanging fruit. It'll be relatively easy to do real quick, especially while it's fresh in my mind. So there's a bunch of other things here. You'll notice, like, I need to be able to know when cars are in the pits. So I need special timing loops for the pit road. I need grid starting spots to be able to be placed. I want the positions of the vehicles, the times in each sector. So this is what I'll work on today. So as a racer, I'd like to know my times in each sector of the track. So what I'm going to do is come into my logic here, and right here we have if the start timing loop is the start finish line. So all of the logic we're going to be working on today is going to be down here in this else. As a matter of fact, we'll probably switch this up to a switch statement, and probably what will happen eventually is I'll refactor this code into a separate function so that this function doesn't get so large. But for now, I'll just come in down into this else, and actually not this else. Let's see, we want to else off of this. Right, so down here is if the timing loop is sector 1, we're going to do some logic. Else, if it's sector 2, we're going to do some logic. So so we got sector 1 and we got sector 2 we're going to deal with, and this logic right here, actually this logic right here, needs to be called. So maybe I should split this out right now. We should make a function called, and this will be private. We should call it like verify tracking or something like that. So we'll do a private function. Call this void verify tracking vehicle. And we're going to pass into that. Let's see what we want to pass in. We're going to pass in the vehicle number, basically. That's going to be it. Okay. So pass in verify tracking vehicle. I'm going to actually move this. And we're going to do basically this logic right here, but we're going to put it inside an if. So we're going to be able to remove this if from let's say if the vehicle data does not contain data for vehicle number, we're going to add it. So then let me think about this for a moment. Yeah, okay. We can get rid of this if else altogether. And before we do any of this, we will do this. Verify tracking vehicle signal dot vehicle number, and we'll just say okay. So before we go any further, I think I should test that and make sure I haven't broken anything. So I will compile that and I'll pause while I wait. Okay, so that's done compiling. Let's take a quick look. And obviously I haven't put logic in yet to make sure you go over these in the proper order, so I can still just drive over it and then drive back. And there's our lap time. So it's still working. And there's another one. Perfect. Okay. So in order to handle sector times there's a couple things I'm going to have to do, and one is if we take a look at vehicle timing data right now, I'm doing best lap time, last lap time. We're going to want best sector 1, best sector 2, and best sector 3. So we'll keep those. And we're going to want the last sector cross time, I think. And then our lap times down here right now, it's just basically just each lap in order with the lap time, but I need more than just the lap time now. I need the lap time and the sector times. So I'm going to end up having to create another struct here. Cobra vehicle lap time info. I think is what I want there. Get rid of the C++ file and do our struct up with the Unreal information. So Cobra vehicle lap time info. Call it, yeah, you gotta put an F in front of it. Okay. And what we're gonna do here is, instead of lap time, we are gonna hold the lap time. Interesting. We gotta hold our lap time. Let me copy view property. I don't think I'm gonna use any of these as view properties, but I'm gonna put it here anyway, just in case I want it later. So we're gonna have lap time. We're gonna have sector 1, sector 2, sector 3. Sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, and then we need to come back to our timing data, and this, instead of being an F time span, needs to be an F Cobra vehicle lap time info. Add a forward declaration, and that's going to break my code right here. So I'm gonna see what my logic is here. We've added this verify. If the last start finish time is the min value, or it's not equal to min value, then we can record the lap time. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is make another function. So let's see. Actually, let me just leave this for now. I am going to split this out, but let me get my logic in place first. So we need an F vehicle, Cobra vehicle lap time info. Whoops. And we need the header file. Lap time is going to be last lap time. And I don't have the sector times yet, so I won't worry about that for the moment. And then we're going to pass in lap info. Okay. Yeah, so basically this entire chunk of code right here will go into another function called process lap, something like that. So and we'll probably just pass in the whole signal. Yeah, we'll pass in the whole signal. So this entire chunk of code okay, and then we're going to go down under process lap info. We'll just paste that whole shebang. Now that we've got this function broken down a little bit better, I can turn this into a switch statement. I hate switch statements that have big chunks of code, but obviously a switch statement makes sense here, but I didn't want to do it until I could move this big chunk of code out of this function. So that's what I've done. I'm going to pause for a minute, go take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Okay, just need to step away for a minute there. So let me remind myself what I was doing here. I want to convert all of this into a switch statement, and I think there's a couple of variables I'm going to need that I do not have right now, which is in the vehicle timing data. I have the last sector cross time, but what I really need, what I need in addition to that, I think, is I need to store like a current sector 1 time and a current sector 2 time. And then let's come down here and I'm going to do a switch timing loop type. And it has been ages since I've done a switch statement in C++. Whoops. Do break in, damn it. I assume that's how it rolls in C++. No, maybe. Okay. And so if it's start finish, we want our start finish code, and we don't need any of this anymore. There we go. That is properly cleaned up. Default case is not handled, so our default case is probably just going to be do nothing. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and make methods for sector 1 and sector 2. Go. Let's add those methods. Okay, so first let me update the code for the start finish. So we are going to want to take we're going to want to say if there is a sector 2 time, record sector 3 time. So actually, I think I put those variables in the wrong place. Let me think about this for a minute. No, I think I need to grab, I think that's correct. I just need to grab dot current sector 2 time is not equal to what did I set that to? Half time span 0, no. Yeah, current sector 1, current sector 2. Actually, I need the last sector cross time, so that's min value. If last sector cross time is not equal to min value, we're gonna set maybe I should just get a reference to this vehicle so I don't have to keep referencing this by index. Last sector cross time minus UTC now. I should probably also get a reference to UTC now, so I stopped doing it because it obviously could change if something takes too long. Let's do this. What did I call that? Cobra vehicle timing data. So we're going to get the data and we're going to get UTC now. There we go. So now I can get rid of I'm going to call this timing data to make it a little bit more obvious what it is. Oops. I'll come back and fix the UTC nows in a minute. I could do replace all here, but I'm always very nervous about using replace all. Okay, and then I had one up here, and is that it? Nope, there's another one. This is actually backwards. I think that's the right way. UTC now. Yep, that's the last one. Okay. So we've got the sector 3 time. So now I can come in here and do lab info dot sector 3 time. There we go. So now I've got the sector 3 time. We need the sector 1 and sector 2 time, which obviously we're going to deal with down here, and we're going to put those in those variables that I created. So we can go ahead and write that code. Okay, so now we've got all 3 sector times and our lab time in our collection of lab times. Really, I should probably, well, whatever, I'll leave the name of that the same for now. So processing sector 1 and processing sector 2 should be relatively easy. We've actually already got the code that we need for this. So sector 1 time is going to be whoa, wait a second. I don't think I did this right. There's a sector, this should be last sector cross time. And well, we'll deal with it down here. Okay, so now I need to get these same variables. Whoops. And we're going to do sector 1 time equals current minus last start finish, which is exactly what we want in this case since it's sector 1. And then we're just going to set the current sector 1 time. Okay, last sector cross time. Okay, now I think I got everything correct. So then we also need to set here the last sector cross time, and then we're going to have basically the same code down here. So I could probably refactor this into a single function, but I'll leave it this way for now. It makes it very easy to read. last sector cross time, and we're gonna set our sector 2 time to sector 2, and we're gonna set the last sector cross time again so that it'll work for sector 3. Process sector 1. Process sector 2. So theoretically now, when I cross the finish line, I will get a lap time and my sector time. So let me see here. Right here. Just added this debug message. And this is obviously going to be data dash max. I'll figure this out in a minute. I'll just set a breakpoint for now. We'll set a breakpoint right. Actually, we'll set it right here. And I will start this up in debug mode. Let me kill my editor, and I'll restart in debug mode. And I'll pause while I wait for that to start up. And it looks like I'm missing some header files somewhere, so let's take a look. Yeah, so default is not correct here. This is my C++ knowledge breaking down, so I need to look this up real quick. Right, so it's not case default, it's just default. It's my go-to when I need to figure out something C++. So that should fix that, but I think I'm missing a couple of. So am I using, so I think it's telling me no. Where am I using this? I'm using it right here. I suspect, again, it's telling me that I need that header file. Let's give that a try. Okay, so that did the trick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this up and I'm gonna drive around the track and I'm gonna pause while I do that because the combination of keyboard control with dodgy physics model is gonna means it's probably gonna take me a while to get around this track. So I'm gonna start around it real quick. I'm gonna hit this breakpoint. No, hit that, and now I need to go all the way around before I hit the actual breakpoint in the code. So I'll pause while I do that. Okay, it only took me 2 tries. Let's see what happens when I hit the start finish. Boom, breakpoint hit. And let's take a look here. Sector 1 time, sector 2 time, sector 3 time. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we've got all 3 sectors. Seems to be working correctly. I'm going to stop there. What I am going to do is go ahead and I've created this ADO instance out here. And I put stuff in the backlog. First of all, right here we can close this out because I've added this logic. I have another user story for a widget later to actually display the times, in various places. But for now, the logic to do that is done. It's closed. The one thing I do need to do is I need to get my code into Git. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm in the root directory. I'm going to do git init here. We've initialized the empty repository. I am going to create git ignore and a git attributes file, which are right here on the Unreal. Somebody's put them on the Unreal Epic community here. So I'm going to take this snippet and we're going to do whoops. We'll open Explorer to this folder and we will do a new text document. We'll just call this .git ignore. Yes, and another new one. .git attributes. Now, Azure DevOps, it allows me to upload. As near as I can tell, there's no maximum size for the upload, so I can upload my assets as part of my repository and use Git LFS to do that. And I think I'm all set up already to do that. I don't know if it's because it might be because I have an enterprise license that I'm allowed to upload such a large repo. I don't know. So I don't know if this is something everybody can do, but regardless, you should back up your code in some way because I've lost plenty of code. As a matter of fact, the RPG that I was working on, that I was videoing in another series, I've lost all that code because the external hard drive that I was using failed. So I've learned my lesson, right? I need to get everything in Git as quickly as possible. So now that I've got these 2 files, I'm going to open this git ignore. So I say all that just to say, if you don't have the ability to upload to a Git repo, then do something to back up your code. I don't know what, but do something. Let's copy this. So this is just telling Git which file types to upload using Git LFS rather than traditional Git. And git ignore, of course, is telling Git to not upload any file that meets these criteria. Basically, any of these file extensions, all the stuff that's user specific or build specific, we don't need to upload that to Git. Okay, so I've got all of that in place. So now, if we look at what Azure DevOps is telling me, it's telling me to run these two commands. So we're going to do this one. And then we're going to push, and this is probably going to take forever. So I'll probably end the video right here because it's going to upload every single one of those assets, the track, the car, all that stuff. So I'll probably end this right here. So I don't know what I'll work on next time. I'll probably take a little break from the timing system and work on some other stuff. I'm not quite sure yet, but maybe visual or audio. I'm actually looking, if anyone knows where I can find one, I'm looking for audio of that Jaguar that I'm using. It'd be really great to have some good audio of that actual car. And there are YouTube videos out there where they've recorded it, but I'm not going to be capable of taking that audio and breaking it down into the proper chunks. I may just have to use the default car audio for now. Anyway, it's stealing it from the vehicle template, of course. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about. So next time, maybe some visual stuff. We'll see. Anyway, till then, take care. See you there.